It's only Tuesday and I am worked up today. I am worked. I am twerked. All right, and I'm not talking about the dance moves that should be banned across the world. I mean, twerking should be outlawed. It should be a prison sentence. Put on your burqas. I can't believe this, dude. I saw up there at the top of the Drudge Report in red lettering, it says Donald Trump considering Diddy commutation this week. Commuting, pardoning the P. Diddy demon of New York. This would be the most outrageous thing imaginable. Here you have a man who got into the office with the Christian vote, who masquerades as a Christian. Do I think Donald Trump is a Christian? No, I do not. No. Unless it was a religion where he was the Christ, then yeah, he'd probably be one. I don't even have word, dude. He might be the Antichrist if he pardons this man. I've talked about this in prior episodes of this show. I listened to a lawyer cover the entire trial of the P. Diddy demon. This guy, dude, he's a horrible, degenerate, evil, sexually depraved madman who would take copious amounts of drugs and alcohol and plow other women with them and watch them have sex with man after male prostitute after male prostitute for days on end. Basically every weekend. That was his hobby. All right, there's a lot of people that he should have got trafficking. In the letters that they wrote to the judge to keep him in jail, Cassie, then you had Mia, that's not her real name. She used a pseudonym because she didn't want anyone to know it was her, but people found out that it was her because, it was open court, so people would go in there and watch the hearings and then report on them, even though the judge said not to mention who the real person was or it'd be a crime. People did it anyways. It was one of 50 Cent's baby's mamas. And they wrote in these letters how they referred to themselves as trafficking. And, whatever he got off on those charges should have been life in prison. They basically begged the judge, please give him a good sentence. They fear for their lives. If he gets out, he will definitely get revenge. Seek retribution. And Trump might let him out. It would be insane. There is video out there of Diddy talking to that big boy Breakfast Club guy. But the guy Charlemagne who calls himself a god, I won't. I will call him Charlemagne the false god. Tired of the false gods, I swear to you. Oh. I don't know. I was going to say something. I'm going to hold on to that here for a second, but I'm tired of it. All the politicians, people are making videos for Diwali, something. It sounds like a damn Disney movie. It's some, pagan false god holiday the Indians celebrate. And you want to know what? If the politicians are Indian, fine. God bless them. But it's the politicians and the people who say that they're professing Christians, and then they're like, I hope you have a happy Diwali. Yeah, the battle of good and against evil with your blue people and that have like 36 arms. One of your, 5 billion gods that you worship. All right? If you just believe in all gods, if you're not saying that you're a Christian, whatever, dude. Whatever. But if you are saying that you are one and that you honor and you wish all these other people who worship all these other gods happy false god worshiping, it's insane. It's insanity. So, yeah, this is on this link led me to TMZ. Donald Trump is considering commuting Diddy's sentence as early as this week, according to high-ranking White House official. According to one source, back up here a minute. He went on the big boy breakfast, Charlemagne the false god, and he was like, Trump is a dangerous person. This is a bad man. You can't let him in. Okay, so he was saying, he was speaking against Trump big time, doing his whole vote or die dance. And why Trump would then release this man from prison, and considering everything that he did, allegedly blowing up Kid Cudi's car. I mean, the list goes on and on. And you're going to let him out. So according to the source, the president is leaning on a commutation. And we're told that some of the White House staff are urging Trump not to commute the sentence. Why? Because they have morals? Because they have a brain? Because they have these White House staffers obviously have some sort of fear of God. But not Trump. Not Trump. No way, dude. Not this guy. But one source states the obvious: Trump will do what he wants. Look at that. Do what thou wilt. That will be the whole of the law. A Lester Crowley. I'm sure Trump loves that tenet of Satanism. So when we're told Trump could set Diddy free as early as this week. So Diddy is serving 50-month prison sentence for violating the Mann Act. He served 13 months, and with credit, he could get around 2 years. He did get 50 months. That's 4 years. But none of that matters if Trump commutes a sentence. So he already let George Santos go. And one pretty bit, like, I read one article that was like, yeah, under Trump, it's like, yeah, deceit flourishes. I mean, this guy defrauded people, lied, all this shit, and but he had Trump's back, and so we let him out. Apparently, that's the reason. Diddy did not have Trump's back, so that would just be insane. So here we have Trump that swept under the Epstein files, won't release them, gaslit the hell out of anyone in one video, acting like he didn't even know who Ghislaine Maxwell was, okay? And for whatever reason is going to release and unleash Diddy back onto the world. I mean, what is Trump going to give him getting out of prison gift? Is he going to give him a few crates of baby oil and some gold bottles? Dude, this is insane to me. This will be insane. Insane. There is no... Here's the thing. I didn't vote. Okay? Not for a Democrat, not for Trump. I did not. Because you want to know what, dude? I felt convicted that I couldn't support either one. Either one. I don't trust Trump. Never have. Do I think he's hilarious? Yes. He is funny in a lot of ways. And there are things that he does that just make me, because they're insane. I don't know. It's just like, oh my God, that's wild. Like putting the auto pin photo where Joe Biden's face is supposed to be on the wall of presidents. Like that makes me laugh because that's insane. That's an insane thing to do. So I don't know if it's like a good sort of funny where, you know, the laughs warm your soul and you just want to hang out with this person and tell jokes and laugh and let your belly jiggle. No, it's more like that is wild that is happening. I just won't even believe it. So I don't. I think there are a lot of things that what I really don't like about Trump the most is how Christians worship him. I think it is disgusting. I really do. It makes me sad. Okay, there is only one Savior, and that is Jesus Christ, and he is going to save us when he returns to this earth to judge the living and the dead at the end of the age. Do I think there's a secret rapture where people are going to get out before the revealing of the Antichrist? No, I don't. I don't believe the Bible says that at all. If you want to believe in the rapture, you got to pull verses out from every single way and secretly read them upside down for it to make sense. But if you just read the Bible normally, it's pretty clear that there's a beginning and that there's an end, and his one return is the final return. But I can get more into that later because I'll tell you what, if Trump releases Diddy, I am going to quit stand-up comedy and become a preacher. The pause was for dramatic effect. That's it, yeah. Because then evil is just too, what point is there in joking around and laughing and having a good old time if we are just saturated in absolute evil? Dude, Diddy is an absolutely demon-possessed, evil man. There is no other explanation of that person other than that. And if Trump lets him out, dude, he is the same. He is the same. It would be so insane to not allow that man to, especially when all of his victims begged the judge to give him a decent prison sentence because they don't feel safe at all. Trump's like, who cares? Who cares? Riled up right now. I wish the internet outage yesterday would have been permanent. I really do. Just destroy the internet. We can just go back. I wish that someone would have had that device that Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell, the one-eyed anti-hero from Escape from L.A. I wish they would have had his device, where at the end, he just lights a cigarette and calmly presses 666, which is the mark of the beast. I think it should be a different number, but hey, that's just me. But, you know, it's Hollywood, so they got to put it in there. Just love the devil. And, but yeah, he puts it in, and it basically, it triggers a worldwide shutdown. Every computer, satellite, piece of technology on Earth goes dark. Planes fall silent. Lights die. The digital age flatlines. Humanity gets unplugged. And then Snake just stands there. He stands there in the darkness and smirks and says, "Welcome to the human race." And then he lights another cigarette. Because he lives a dangerous life. He's a dangerous man. You know, he has the potential of dying all the time, so it's all right if he smokes cigarettes. That's the least of his worries. He's probably going to die by a gunshot anyways, and not cancer. Let the man have his cigarettes. Yeah, I wish that would have definitely happened. Wish someone would have just shut it all down. It's a shame that Y2K didn't happen. I really wanted that to take place, but we were let down with that too. If you're not familiar with Y2K and what the big deal was, it was everybody thought back in the late 1900s. If that doesn't make you feel old, nothing will. Everyone thought the world was going to explode at midnight on January 1st, 2000. Not from bombs or God's wrath, but because computers were programmed to be dumb. Because the coders, they save space by writing years as 2 digits. So they'd write 99 instead of 1999, and they just assumed that no one would still be using that code when the calendar rolled to 2000. And every bank, airport, hospital, clock, it still used that code. So when 1999 was going to be turned into 2000, computers might think it was 1900, and that they would then crash, and these systems handled everything from nuclear reactors to store registers, and people freaked out. I mean, there's tapes. There's VHS tapes, how to survive Y2K. I found one of those tapes uploaded to the internet, to the YouTube, not too long ago, and I was like, damn, too bad none of this happened. So the government's freaked out. Billions of dollars got spent fixing the codes. Techs pulled all-nighters, and news anchors were constantly on the air talking about how planes might fall from the sky. And, my grandma stockpiled peaches. And then midnight hit. Nothing happened. And we were partying at my, that was junior year. That was my junior year, and we were at Cedar Creek, Nebraska, in an A-frame cabin. My buddy, my childhood, my best friend, is his cabin, A-frame. And there was no water. There was no plumbing. Had to go outside. We were dressed very warm, and we brought in Y2K. And we didn't even know if anything happened or not, because we were in a place with no electricity, no plumbing, no water, nothing. So then when we woke up and, went home in the morning, got back, and everything was fine, and there was no digital apocalypse. It was a major letdown. Everybody was disappointed. Imagine where we would have been now if that would have happened. It could be a far more beautiful place than it is. It is now. In the ruins. Just, we would be the civilization after the ruins of Y2K. Y2K. What do we got here? There was some... All right, well, I still won't even believe it, guys. I won't believe it if Trump lets that maniac out. It'll be too much. It'll be too much. Warner Brothers is up for sale, and Discovery, they're selling their stuff. HBO Max, they hiked their prices across all subscription plans. Ad-supported plans were raised by $1 a month, standard plans by $1.50, and premium plans by $2. There you go. What's the end game for this? Are they just going to, twice a year? Are all the streaming services just going to keep raising their platforms? Do we have nothing else to do? Really? I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have the streaming services and to be able to turn on a TV show or a movie at night. But who really cares in this day and age? Everything is so incredibly expensive. Like, we shouldn't even be watching this shit anyways. It's not good. It's not, like, nothing's really that good that they make. I can't think of a single movie offhand where people are like, you gotta see this movie, and you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is the funniest movie I've ever seen. This is the most action-packed movie I've ever seen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, dude. I just watched in 2 parts, because that's the thing. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I don't have a lot of time. I don't have really any time. I watch a few episodes of King and Queens with my wife each night when we get in bed, and then we go to sleep. But I don't have time to go see movies. I don't have time to watch movies. But the other night, I'm like, I'm going to relax for a minute. You know, I'm going to watch something. And I wanted to watch a action movie. So I looked up, I'm like, what are the best action movies right now streaming? And I got to tell you, one of them was The Working Man with John Stamos. And I'm like, okay. And I don't think it's Stamos Statham. Stamos is, the guy from Full House. Jason Statham, whatever. He's bald. He's the best looking bald guy in all of the world. No one can pull off being bald with a shaved head more than that guy. That's what I've learned. That's what I learned while I was watching this movie. I'm like, man, that guy can really pull off the bald head. Man, that's how uninterested I was in this movie. Is I was just amazed that he even can pull it off better than Bruce Willis did. That's what I garnered from this. But so it was, he was a military background. It's the same old shit. It's just the same shit over and over and over and over again, and we fall for it, and we pay for it, and we waste our time watching it. He's a Green Beret for Britain in the armies of America. He had like a flag, like a patch. It was like half America, half Britain or something like that. And he just wanted to live a quiet life and work construction until the owners of the construction family, who were like family to him, and they baked him desserts and brought him food because otherwise he would just eat tuna. Their daughter was kidnapped for sex trafficking, and he must get her back. And it was the movie Taken, really, with like a few different changes. So instead of the wife being alive and the husband being rich, like in Taken, in this one, the wife was dead, and his daughter lived with the rich grandpa who hated him because violence follows him like a cloud. And so then he's got to go, and he has to kill everyone and save her from being sex trafficked and killed. Literally the movie Taken with a different actor with a few changes. And the entire time I was just like, I hate this. I hate this movie. I hate that everything is the same. And there's hardly any original. They just recycle it. Same story beats, same structure, same shit. And we just pay for all the streaming services. It's basically just, why don't we just get cable now? And then not only that, it was like streaming, no ads. And now you got to pay like a premium price for no ads. Otherwise you're paying, and then they put the ads in anyways. You suck! You suck, man. God, why can't we just band together and actually do something as a united people, as the peasants and the plebs of this country, as the unwashed masses? Why can't we just bond together over anything? If no one filled up and got gas for 2 days, they would lower it down. That was a big thing back in the day when it first started going up, but no one did it. And then now if we just unsubscribe to all these streaming services, they will give us better deals. But I don't. They just keep jacking it up. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to have my Netflix. I got to pay for my brainwashing and propaganda to be re-educated into loving drag queens. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel just had, drag queens on, reading Eric Trump's book and all this shit. We pay for it. We pay to be propagandized. We pay to be brainwashed. And the people that know this and are at the heads of these companies and the heads of these programming, they just laugh and they laugh and they laugh. Well, I won't be laughing if Trump lets out the P. Diddy demon. This is the Austin Anderson Show. I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m.